How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to the next episode here on the channel of Weekly NFL News. I've been putting a lot of videos out. This will be the 5th video that we've put out so far. So far I'm pretty impressed with the views that we've gotten. It's not a whole crazy amount, but you know, everyone counts and it means a lot. So thanks for everybody who's tuned in and who is coming back to watch these videos here. So for this video, as you can tell in the title, I'm giving out my top 10 fantasy football PPR format picks of the week. And we're just going to jump right into this. Number 1 this week, I have DeAndre Hopkins, and it's not just because he's on my fantasy team. He really hasn't had that big of a game yet. And this week, I believe he's going to step out of his comfort zone. And I feel like Deshaun Watson, his quarterback, is going to relax a little back there in the pocket and be able to get the ball to his number 1 guy. I'm expecting big things out of Hopkins this week. A lot of wide receivers on this list, so we're going to continue on. So number 2, I have this week for the number 2 best fantasy player this week. I have Michael Thomas for the Saints. The reason why I have Michael Thomas on here is not only has he been putting up big numbers so far this season, they're playing a Falcons defense who is hurt with injuries right now. We've lost, I'm a Falcons fan, we've lost our best linebacker and our best safety. So I'm expecting some pretty big things out of Michael Thomas this week here. Although I hope he doesn't score a bunch of touchdowns, I do expect him to have a big game against the Falcons. Number 3, I have Todd Gurley for the Rams. Gurley, they've been using him a lot in the red zone. He hasn't been getting a whole ton of carries down the field, but I feel like this week it's going to be he's going to have 100 yards rushing and maybe 2 touchdowns, maybe a couple receptions there. So for my number 3 top fantasy pick for week 3, I have Todd Gurley. Number 4, I have Tom Brady for the New England Patriots. Now Brady's been putting up good numbers these first 2 weeks, even with the loss at Jacksonville. I think Brady still, at being in his 40s, is the best quarterback in the entire NFL. He's the greatest quarterback probably to ever play the game. Brady is going to have a big game this week. I'm expecting 4 to 5 touchdowns maybe and 300 plus yards. So if you have Tom Brady, don't set him on the bench. For number 5, I have Patrick Mahomes. He did have a big week last week with the 6 touchdown performance. Will he get that this week? I don't think he'll score throw for 6 touchdowns this week. He is stepping out and becoming more of a leader for the Chiefs. He got Travis Kelce more involved. Kelce doesn't make this list, but he's a close top 10 play. Having Kelce involved is a big thing. So with him being involved last week, it made big things for Patrick Mahomes. So that's why I have Patrick Mahomes sitting at my number 5 spot. Number 6 becomes Patrick's number 1 receiver. That is Tyreek Hill. I expect big things out of Tyreek Hill. He had a slack-off game last week. That's because mainly Travis Kelce took over the limelight there. So I think he'll have 100 yards receiving and a touchdown this week. So I definitely would start Tyreek Hill. And as long as Tyreek Hill is healthy, I would start him for the rest of the season. He's going to have a big year this year. This is we know that he can return punts. We've seen that he returned one on week 1. So, but this year, I think Tyreek Hill, this is going to be Tyreek's like breakout year to put him in that top 10, top 5 receivers in the NFL. So we're going to jump in now to number 7, and I have Julio Jones for the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons have changed their offense so many times, and even at the end of the last season, they just had trouble scoring the ball. The year we went to the Super Bowl, we were the best scoring offense. We were averaging 33 points a game, and we got rid of Kyle Shanahan. He is now the coach of the 49ers, and we hired in Sarkisian from Alabama, who only has 1 year coaching of offensive coordinator, which I'm not going to get into that. It's a completely separate video. But the first 2 games of the season, Julio has been more involved than he was the entire season last year. I'm expecting him to get a touchdown and around 60, 75 yards and probably about 8 receptions. So if you got Julio, start him. He's a safe start this week. I'm going to go ahead and jump into number 8, and that is Saquon Barkley. As heavy as the Giants have been pushing this kid, I expect another big workload out of him this week and a top 10 performance in fantasy again. So if you have Saquon, start him. Number 9, I actually have 2 players here at number 9, and I actually had them on another list as well, and that is Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. Both of them have been putting up very, very similar numbers, and I do not expect anything different this week. If you have either one of them on your fantasy team, it's a safe start. And number 10 here on the list, I have Christian McCaffrey for the Carolina Panthers. He, like I've said in a previous video, he is the Panthers' whole entire offense, pretty much. They have, Cam Newton, and they have a couple decent receivers out wide. But with Greg Olsen being out, McCaffrey, they throw him the ball. I think a lot of plays are designed just to get McCaffrey out in space so he can make moves. I expect another huge day for him receiving the ball. And he may, I don't think he's going to have a whole lot of rushing yards, maybe 50, 60 rushing yards, but I do expect him to have 10-plus receptions. So if you have McCaffrey, safe start at running back. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I do appreciate everybody tuning in, checking out the channel. This will be the 5th video of the series. If you have anything that you'd like me to see, you'd like me to do differently, please feel free to put it in the comments. And if you disagree with anything I have on the list, let me know in the comments. Let me know why. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.